Tonight, the shock Baden Clay ruling stuns domestic violence groups as legal experts defend the justice system.
An Ipswich bomb maker jailed after a golf ball explodes and seriously maims a teenager.
Fears of a new Sydney bikie war after a very public daylight execution.
And a soldier faces court after terrifying residents and sending schools into lockdown.
This is 10 Eyewitness News, first at 5, with Georgina Lewis and Lachlan Kennedy.
Good evening. The nation's courts are being scrutinised like never before after the shock decision to downgrade the conviction of wife killer Gerard Baden Clay. Many are calling it blind justice.
Domestic violence campaigners are stunned, and Alison Baden Clay's family is questioning the merits of even having a jury. But legal experts are tonight vigorously defending the decision. Claire Barnes reports.
An Ipswich man who maimed a teenager with a homemade golf ball bomb has been sentenced to 4 years jail. Glenn Dell was convicted of grievous bodily harm after the device exploded when the 15-year-old victim picked it up. Christina Costalis was at the sentencing.
There's been a dramatic chase in the Lockyer Valley this afternoon. It left a car split in two on the Warrego Highway. The drama began when police officers spotted a stolen vehicle in Toowoomba this morning. But when they tried to stop the car, the driver headed straight at them. The car clipped a policeman who then shot at the vehicle. One man was then taken into custody. His accomplice managed to escape down the highway before crashing into the back of a bus trying to avoid police stingers on the road. He's also been arrested.
A young woman pedestrian has been killed in a tragic accident at Sunnybank. The victim, in her 20s, was struck by a car while she was walking on a pedestrian crossing on Mains Road around 9:30 this morning. Police are investigating witness reports that she had a green walk signal to cross at the time.
A floral tribute is growing outside the Auchenflower apartment complex where 11-year-old Celeste Pearson was murdered yesterday morning. Police have also returned to the scene, desperate for answers after the body of the girl's mother, Sharky Pearson, was found at a nearby construction site. Today, Milton State School, which Celeste attended, held an assembly with parents and students. The school is also offering counselling.
A fierce fight over raising the GST is expected over the next 2 days when Malcolm Turnbull and Scott Morrison go head-to-head with state treasurers.
The outcome is likely to determine just how much more tax we'll be paying in the coming years. Catalina Flores has this preview of the meeting. Former Prime Minister Tony Abbott is being labelled a threat to national security after declaring there's a fundamental problem within Islam. Those comments have some calling him Australia's version of Donald Trump. Ursula Hager explains. The family of a man who was stabbed to death in a shopping centre has been left outraged by his killer's sentence. Full details straight after the break.
Plus, the coroner's call for tougher safety standards for trucks to better protect Queensland cyclists.
And brick by brick, Australia's biggest Lego city being built right here in Brisbane.
Good afternoon. For the floorboardsonline.com.au traffic, helicopter had a collision with the Pineapple Bridge for about 20-30 minutes. It's cleared now, but unfortunately delays back down the gateway to around Bracken Ridge. In fact, it's joining up with the traffic coming up from Nudgee up through past the entertainment centre and also off to the right of screen as well. The Gympie Arterial, that's of course trying to get up to the Bruce Highway itself, and that's thick all the way back down to around about Chermside as well. So one to avoid here is both the Gympie Arterial and the gateway leading up to the Bruce Highway until it settles down. M1 southbound Georgia, a little bit slow of course down through Springwood. It's back to you. We'll update you shortly.
We'll see you soon. Thank you, Jace. A coroner has recommended blind spot technology for trucks following a fatal cycling accident in South Brisbane. 22-year-old Danish cyclist Rebecca Mayer was killed when she was hit from behind by a truck on Annerley Road in September last year. The coroner says heavy vehicles should be banned from the roads unless they have blind spot technology. She also wants more security cameras and more exclusive bikeways across the CBD. A wild birthday party brawl involving parents at a children's play centre has had its sequel in court. That's just ahead.
Also unveiling the latest Rolls-Royce that's targeting a more youthful buyer.
And the cutest new attractions come out to play at SeaWorld. Welcome back to 10 Eyewitness News. A woman has been handed a 12-month suspended jail sentence for her part in a birthday party brawl at a children's play centre.
Her brother and father among 6 other family members who are likely to face home detention. Elisa Throden has the story.
Oscar Pistorius has been freed on bail as he waits to appeal his conviction for murdering girlfriend Reeva Steenkamp. The Blade Runner must comply with strict bail conditions and is only allowed to leave his house between 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. He's also been ordered to hand in his passport and wear a tracking device. Pistorius won't face court until next April, when he must update the status of his appeal. One of the world's most luxurious cars is about to go on sale on the Gold Coast. The new Rolls-Royce Dawn was unveiled today after years in development. The twin-turbo V12 4-seat convertible is aimed at attracting younger car enthusiasts to the market. But they'll have to be very rich. The Dawn's price tag is $750,000.
We can always dream. SeaWorld has received an early Christmas gift with the arrival of 3 penguin chicks. The young Gentoo penguins hatched last month and have already tripled in size. They'll eventually be joining the breeding program. There's some more good news. The chicks could soon have some playmates, with another 3 eggs yet to hatch.
Time now for an early check of the weather, Josh. A warm day for the southeast.
It certainly was, Georgie, especially for places like Logan, hitting temperatures 4 degrees above the December average, topping out, as you can see, at tops of 33. So sorry for the anomaly there. Toowoomba also seeing some of the hot stuff today, and that northerly airflow ahead of a trough of low pressure, which is moving in that easterly direction across parts of Queensland. Thunderstorms on the way over the next couple of days, guys. We'll have all those details at 5 to 6.
All right, Josh, we'll see you then. Thank you. Harrison Ford has just arrived in Australia on a new Star Wars mission. We'll catch up with him after the break.
Plus, the Rocket Man burns brightly in Brisbane on possibly his final Australian tour.
And a really good reason why rowdy ice hockey fans shut down a game for almost an hour.
Just want a hug? You need cuddle therapy.
I tend to like the spooning.
It does relax you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The Project, 6:30 tonight on 10.
It's set to be one of the biggest movies of all time.
Great news is.
And tomorrow, one of the stars from the new Star Wars film will be live on Studio 10.
We're home.
But shh, we can't say who. We are sworn to secrecy. Studio 10, see what all the fuss is about, 8:30 tomorrow.
Hello again with the floorboardsonline.com.au traffic helicopter just over the side of where this collision was for the Pineapple Bridge. We can see the Gympie Arterial, of course, still commuting heavily coming out of Chermside and down through here past Castleline all the way up towards the Bruce Highway itself. Even further back, we had a look at that running out through from Kedron. We're seeing it slow, just leading up to the Airport Link Tunnel. Unfortunately, some delays there as well. And you will find some delays for the gateway itself from Nudgee, virtually leading up to Bracken Ridge and ultimately up towards the Pineapple Bridge as well. Lachlan, have a good night. It's now back to you.
Jace, we'll speak to you tomorrow. Thank you. The American band that was on stage at the time of the Paris Concert Hall massacre has returned to the scene to honour the 90 fans who were murdered. The Eagles of Death Metal members were visibly shaken as they laid flowers and read messages from family and friends of the victims. The group was applauded as they left. They later joined U2 on stage to play a tribute song.
It's exactly 35 years since John Lennon was assassinated in front of his New York home. Millions around the world stopped to remember the night he was ambushed and shot several times in the back by deranged Beatles fan Mark David Chapman. He remains in jail after being denied parole 8 times. Ice hockey fans have stopped a game in Canada in spectacular style. They bombarded the rink with more than 25,000 teddy bears as part of an annual pre-Christmas tradition. Fans are encouraged to bring a bear and throw it onto the ice when the home team first scores. Play had to be suspended for 40 minutes while the teddies were cleared. They were then donated to kids' charities. All for a good cause. Big clean-up though, isn't it?
40 minutes.
I love that they wait till the game has begun and someone scored. Don't do it before. Do it during.
Maybe might work at Suncorp Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, good idea.
Start something there, Jono.
Thanks very much. Hello everyone, coming up a selection bombshell. Who the QRL is chasing to fill Mal Meninga's coaching role. That's next. Also, Steve Smith's word of warning to his batsmen as a Test Quick prepares to play his first international game in almost 2 years. And Mick Fanning opens up about his surf rescue ahead of the world title deciding Pipeline Masters. Welcome back. James Pattinson is set to return to Test cricket after nearly 2 years on the sidelines. His inclusion for the first Test against the West Indies is the only change to Australia's lineup, but others have been warned they need to score runs. Rob Waters reports. Mick Fanning admits he was rattled after helping save the life of a fellow surfer at Pipeline on Monday. Fanning raced to the aid of Evan Geiselman, who was left unconscious after a heavy wipeout. It prevented the world number 1 from hitting the waves just days out from the world title deciding Pipeline Masters. 6 surfers can mathematically win the world title, including fellow Aussies Julian Wilson and Owen Wright, who's already scored a contender for Wave of the Winter. And strap yourselves in, we're flying high in Dubai with some daredevils, but you'd better hope you aren't taking they're taking your next flight. The World Air Games showcase the most extreme pilots on the planet, and if you're a passenger, it might be an idea to stock up on sick bags. Absolutely amazing.
I think we stopped the video at the perfect time there.
So it's meant to fly like that?
Yeah, well.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Thank you, Jono. Storms are set to return across the southeast. Josh has the details next.
A damning reports revealed the police force is rife with sexual harassment. So is it too late to turn around this toxic culture? That and more at 6:30.
It's time to check the weather, and Josh, storms are back on the forecast for tomorrow.
They are, Lachlan, over Thursday and Friday this week. Moving into southeast Queensland, we'll look at that extended forecast in just a few moments as once again we venture down to the Gold Coast this evening, where today at the Goldie we hit top temps of 31 degrees. Still quite pleasant though if you fancy a walk on the beach. Tops, current temperatures I should say, of 25 degrees, humidity at 80% and the winds gusting from the north at the Seaway at 33 kilometres per hour. Out on the bay for another Thursday, northerly winds 15 to 20 knots, seas around about the 1 metre mark, sun rising up and out of bed at 4:45 a.m. For Brisbane City, possible shower or storm tomorrow, tops of 31 degrees, that's 2 degrees above the December average. And then as we get into Friday, again the chance of showers and thunderstorms and a very hot day for the city, tops of 35 degrees, starting to clear up Saturday, temperatures dropping down into early next week. For Ipswich, much the same, a scorching day to end the working week, 37 degrees Friday, another hot one Saturday before starting to cool down over Sunday, guys.
A few hot days ahead.
And stormy nights.
Yes.
Josh, thank you.
Thank you, Josh. But that is 10 Eyewitness News for now. We'll be back tomorrow at 5.
Thanks for your company. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.